Richest women in the United States. The wealthiest women in America have more in common than just their money. 8 out of the 10 wealthiest women in the U.S. are descendants or widows of the founders of some of the largest companies in the country. From Walmart to Apple to Mars Candy. Let's take a look at the 10 richest women in America. Alice Walton. Alice is the heiress of the Walmart fortune left behind her father and Walmart creator Sam Walton. Walmart is the biggest private employer in the country, and as stated by Bloomberg data, Alice Walton is worth at least a whopping $40.8 billion. Alice began her career as a financial analyst and then manager at First Commerce Corporation, and was then titled head of investment activities at the Arvis Bank Group. Alice had an active role in handling and enhancing the family's fortune, and did so while prospering in a career as an investment banker. Jacqueline Mars. Jacqueline also comes from one of America's richest families and earned a substantial amount of wealth as a successor. As the second richest woman in America, Mars is worth an estimated $22 billion thanks to her Mars Incorporated fortune and investments. Made in 1911, Mars Incorporated is the biggest candy maker in the world, with treats like M&Ms, Snickers, and Skittles. The company has also diversified to sell pet supplies. Jacqueline, 79, possesses a third of Mars Incorporated. Apart from the company, Mars is a philanthropist. Thanks to her work for the U.S. Equestrian Team Foundation, she triumphed with the foundation's Distinguished Trustee Award in 2017. Laurene Powell Jobs. The widow of Apple co-creator Steve Jobs, businesswoman Laurene Powell Jobs is worth around $21 billion according to Forbes. She's considered the 4th richest woman in America. Powell Jobs is the creator and president of the Emerson Collective, an organization that works with policymakers to produce solutions to problems in education and immigration reform, among other social justice issues. Powell Jobs, 55, has also established other organizations, including College Track, a group that assists in preparing low-income students for college. Currently, Powell Jobs also bought a majority stake in the magazine The Atlantic. Abigail Johnson. Abigail is the president and CEO of Fidelity Investments, which her grandfather established in 1946. One of Fortune's most powerful women, Johnson is worth around $15 billion and has a 24.5% stake in Fidelity Investments, stated by Forbes. Johnson, 57, was made CEO in 2014 and became a chairwoman of the company in 2016. Blair Parry-Okeden. Blair Parry-Okeden controls 25% of the shares at her grandfather's media company, Cox Enterprises. Blair owns approximately around $12 billion, but she has no involvement in Cox Enterprises. The current chairman of the company is her brother, James C. Kennedy. A fascinating fact is that Blair published her own children's book called Down by the Gate. The current worth of her media and automotive company is $20.1 billion. Marian Ilitch. Lady Marian Ilitch ranks 6th, the founder of Little Caesars Pizza and owner of an immense family business, Ilitch Holdings. The Michigan-born billionaire married Mike Ilitch in 1954, and the couple created a small and local restaurant that has been one of the greatest American franchises. After the death of her husband, Marian and her 7 children received a sales chain of approximately $5 billion, which made her one of the wealthiest businesswomen in the States and globally. Ilitch is also the primary investor in Detroit's biggest and famous casino, Motor City, which is presumably the world's most successful gaming business owned and controlled by a woman. Much of her revenue comes from minor investments in coast-to-coast gaming venues for federally acknowledged American tribes. She also controls a committed fundraising program called Love Kitchen, which intends to aid disaster victims across the state. Diane Hendricks. Renowned film producer Diane Hendricks also has a place on this list, with an estimated worth of $4.9 billion. Born and raised in a dairy-producing family in Wisconsin, Diane was determined to pursue a career in real estate and skipped college instead. She had a successful marriage with Ken Hendricks. The couple established the roofing company ABC Supply, which soon flourished into an immense private conglomerate and one of today's best-known commercial construction companies. Following the death of Ken Hendricks in 2007, Diane became the sole stakeholder and chairperson of Hendricks Holding. She is also famous for charity work, as she is a major donor of Wisconsin Eye and Rock County. Jin Sook Chang. As a young Korean immigrant, she came to the States with big dreams and a limited budget to make them work. But she didn't give up. Jin started working as a hairdresser, and she and her husband were able to save $11,000 for their first clothing store. The very same venue is nowadays one of America's famous and well-liked retail brands, Forever 21. The net worth of this self-made billionaire is $4 billion. Chang has an active role in the company as a chief merchandising officer. Currently, they own over 800 stores in 48 different countries and supply jobs for 43,000 people. Christy Walton. A famous Walmart heiress, Christy Rush Walton is the widow of John Walton, one of the sons of Sam Walton, who founded and governed Walmart. Her exact net worth is not accessible to the public, but it is estimated she owns over $4 billion. Her fortune is not only based on her shares in Walmart, she also earns from her husband's investment in First Solar. She founded her own charitable foundation, Walton Family Charitable Support, and has contributed over $1.6 million in education improvement. Another intriguing fact is that the family is the founder of a production company, Tanaha Productions, and has funded the film adaptation for Bless Me in 2013. Diane Kemper. Mrs. Kemper is popular as a successful real estate investor and leading joint owner in her family's business. She and her 3 siblings, Alan, Jamie, and Amy, inherited one of the largest real estate portfolios in the States and have investments in over 1,900 residential and commercial properties in New York. Her net worth is around $3.1 billion. Diane headed the residential leasing department in the company, but gave up on the position a few years ago due to serious health issues. She manages a notable 17% stake of the developments in the World Trade Center.